All right, this is a Fox News alert. President Trump's attorney, Rudy Giuliani, weighing in on Buzzfeed's fake report on Twitter, writing, quote, "I commend Bob Mueller's office for correcting the Buzzfeed false story that President Trump encouraged Cohen to lie. I ask the press to take heed that their hysterical desire to destroy this president has gone too far. They push this without critical analysis all day. Hashtag fake news." We go now to the president's attorney, Jay Sekulow, also the chief counsel for the American Center for Law and Justice. Hey, Sean. This is how it went all day, Jay. Well, we haven't verified it ourselves, but if true, and this is both the Democrats and the media, but if true, and then they go to impeachment, and this is now going on for 2 straight years, false report after false report, conspiracy theory after conspiracy theory.
You know, I think one of the networks, one of the other networks, I think I counted in the course of almost a little less than an hour, 17 or 19 times they said if this was true, if this happened, if these facts could be verified, which we haven't been able to verify, this would be a crime. But that's like saying, you know, if someone robbed a bank, it would be a crime. Well, if someone did rob a bank, it would be a crime. But I think it's important here for a moment to reflect on that this was actually a good day for justice and a very, very good day for the President of the United States. But it's also important to say and to focus for a moment here on what the special counsel's office actually said. And Sean, because, you know, my job as the President's lawyer, as part of the legal team, is to analyze these things and to respond to what was going on, this frenzy that was going on the last 24 hours. And so let me start with what he actually said. This is from Bob Mueller's office. By the way, it's the first time they have spoken publicly about a false news story. This is what they said. BuzzFeed's description of specific statements to the special counsel's office, that's 1, and characterization of documents, that's 2, and testimony obtained by this office regarding Michael Cohen's congressional testimony are not accurate. So it's 3 things. It's the description of the specific statements to the special counsel's office, the characterization of the documents that were the basis upon which the media speculation started, and the testimony obtained by the office regarding Michael Cohen's cooperation with the special counsel's office. All of that, as reported in the report today, are not correct. And this isn't coming from me. It's not coming from the American Center for Law and Justice. It's not coming from my law firm. Who's it coming from? It's coming from the special counsel's office, Bob Mueller's office. So I think Rudy Giuliani is right in saying that this was the right thing to do, and I'm glad they did it. Now, where does that leave us? So, Sean, here's what I think this is. This is a warning sign to everybody that the speculation with no factual backup is dangerous for our republic. And look, I've been dealing with this, as you know, for more than 24 hours, about 24 hours. Actually, it started last night about 10 o'clock, so about an hour from now. And the end result of this was the right thing, but it took us 24 hours to get the right thing. But I think it's important for everyone that's watching to realize that the speculation and the media anxiousness to report out of the gate has got to stop. But there's also another message in all this, and you said this in your monologue. Look what is transpired. People say, is there any action being taken on the people that are doing wrong deeds, illegal conduct? Well, let's look at it. James Baker, the general counsel of the FBI, is under investigation for what? Leaking to the media.
Well,
Andrew
Jay,
McCabe.
let me just say something. But, Jay, we just learned that this week. Comey's FBI,
right. You
have his deputy, Andrew McCabe, is under a criminal investigation. Now the general counsel.
For leaking. This is important. For leaking. They're not supposed to be doing that, Sean. And they're leaking documents. And they're leaking testimony. And they're leaking statements. And this is absolute. That's why they're fired and under investigation.
You know, the media bias can be both ways.
We got to focus on that. Yep.
False reporting, which we have documented, and I believe the president has forever branded, rightly so, fake news as such, and for them to ever get their credibility back, I don't think it's even possible. You know, look at this. We learned about the general counsel Baker. We know about Andrew McCabe. We know about Strzok and Page. They were even appointed to Mueller's team, along with Jeannie Ray, who used to be Clinton's attorney, and the pit bull Andrew Weissman. But here's my question. Bruce Orr, we learned under oath, in testimony, released this week, that, in fact, he warned everybody about the phony dossier. He warned that Clinton paid for it. He warned that Christopher Steele had a hatred of the president. And he warned that it wasn't verified or corroborated. But it still became the bulk of information. Is that
Sean,
FISA warrants?
Yeah, I've always asked the question of what happens to the evidence that was gathered during the course of the proceedings, the investigation, that were outside legal parameters, not appropriate, not legal, because it's called the fruit of the poisonous tree. But let me tell you something else about the Bruce Ohr testimony. Bruce Ohr did say that he told the higher-ups at the FBI, my gosh, he was the number 4, that, in fact, that the dossier was biased, that it was paid for by political operatives. But his wife worked for the political operative company that put the dossier together. And there's also, simultaneous with his mea culpa from Bruce Ohr, is what? Are text messages that have been released between Bruce Ohr and who? Christopher Steele, the so-called British spy. And that is a plea for Bruce Ohr and Chris Steele, for Steele to come back to work to the FBI right after James Comey's fired. Now, ask yourself this question. Why was Christopher Steele fired by the FBI in the first place? And you know what the answer to that one is? A leak to the media. So this is, look, the illegitimacy of the inquiry from the outset has been is incredible, but it's the consistency of getting information out here. So again, while I'm glad that the office of the special counsel's office today issued this very clear 3-part statement, and that's how you have to analyze it, and some of these networks trying to parse it, it's almost funny watching it. But here's what I think is important. What's the consistent theme through this? Illegal, inappropriate leaks. And who started leaking as well? James Comey. He said he gave his notes of a conversation he had with the President of the United States to a friend of his to leak to the press so he would get the appointment of a special counsel, which lo and behold happens. So let me tell you something. That's what I want everybody focusing on tonight. It's this consistent pattern of leaking. And that's going on at the highest. It's not the individual FBI agents. In mass, they do a great job. But the Strzok and Page thing, someone explain this one to me. There are emails that are missing, or text messages, from the time that they were at the special counsel's office, and the resource officer at the special counsel's office says, well, we didn't really check the material, and one phone was left, and the other phone was recirculated, and no one checked the text messaging. So, look, again, I am glad that Bob Mueller's office issued this statement. It was called for. It was due. It was the appropriate thing to do. But there are a lot of questions that are still not answered by the activities that have taken place here. Now, again, it's a good day for the president, great day for the president, great day for the country, not such a great day for the media. And I caution friends of mine in the media today to watch this. Be very careful here.
You
very
told
careful.
me early today.
Unsourced, unverified. I told you that. Yes.
We saw the two Buzzfeed. One reporter says, yeah, we saw the evidence. The other said we didn't. And, of course, they released the dossier without any corroboration. You know, here's the dangerous part and the serious part of all of this. It's hurting the country. This is an obsession.
Yep.
Congress, you know, if verified, impeachment. This has been the burden on this president now for 2 years. And it was interesting to watch today the media also thinking obstruction of justice is a really serious issue while ignoring the deletion of subpoenaed emails, bleach pit, hammers, SIM cards removed. And, you know, we saw last week, Democrats say manufactured crisis, media says manufactured crisis again and again. It's almost as if they want this to happen so bad they cannot get over this obsession, which really is hate and really hurts the country.
Well, look, this impacts the president, the office of the presidency, and the entire country. Well, let me say something. If you looked at the other networks, which I know you don't do, but in my job I got to look at all of it, right? So when I saw that,
I'm sorry that you have to do
today,
that. That's punishment.
Yep, I did. And you know what it said, though? Special counsel's office challenges BuzzFeed's statements regarding the president directing someone to lie. That's all I needed to say for the day. There you go.
Right. Jay Sekulow,
Good day
attorney
for
for the president, chief counsel, American Center for Law and Justice. Thank you.